All right, guys, so we have some crazy news coming from the Elon Musk Twitter situation that has been going on over the last week. As a week ago, it was announced that Elon Musk had taken a massive stake in Twitter. I think he bought like $2 billion worth of stock, giving him about a 9.2% ownership in the company. And at that point, he was also offered a board position, in which the initial reports was that he was going to accept the board position and Elon Musk was going to be on the board of Twitter, which would give him some influence, a lot of influence over the operations of the company. Now, a lot of people, especially conservatives, celebrated this because it was speculated that, well, Elon Musk is going to come in and change Twitter and make Twitter a free speech platform. A lot of people were hoping that, people that have been banned from Twitter, like Trump, like Dr. Malone, like a lot of other conservatives, the Babylon Bee, they were going to come back because Elon Musk is now there and shaking up the way things are done. Okay. And that, again, has excited a whole lot of people, right? Because conservatives have been dealing with the brunt of censorship from these social media platforms because they're all ran by woke people who don't believe in the First Amendment, okay? That's just the reality of the situation. So seeing somebody like Elon Musk, who's obviously based, okay, who obviously believes in the First Amendment, that believes in free speech, buy enough shares in the company in order to have influence, again, is an exciting moment, right? Because it signals that maybe the tide is turning, okay, in regards to the battle, the ongoing conflict between conservatives and big tech, in which, again, big tech has been targeting conservatives, okay? They've been targeting our fundamental rights, or put it this way, they've been targeting the spirit of our fundamental rights because, the left loves to argue that, well, the First Amendment only applies to the government. And I'm like, okay, yeah, you're right, but it's about the spirit of it, right? We're all about the spirit of free speech, which they're obviously not about, okay? Now, here's the thing. I told people when this first happened that, I definitely think Elon Musk will have influence. However, I think we need to temper our expectations because he's only one person and he doesn't really own enough of the company to actually unilaterally make decisions. And I'm talking about the big decisions in regards to mainly unblocking Trump, right? Unblocking and uncensoring some conservatives and doctors, medical professionals, people that got censored for not towing the Democratic Party line, okay? That is the main thing that we want, okay? And I believe that that's what Elon Musk wants to do. However, he's not the one that can do it by himself. I mean, in fact, Twitter actually came out earlier this week and said, yeah, we're not unblocking Trump, right? Just because Elon Musk is going to be on the board, just because he's the largest individual shareholder in the company, that doesn't necessarily mean that anything's changing in regards to Trump being on the platform. So with that being said, it's funny because Elon Musk has basically been trolling Twitter for the last week, right? He's actually been criticizing the investment that he just poured billions of dollars into, okay? Basically asking, is the platform dead? Okay, he just recently made fun of Twitter, basically saying that they should turn the headquarters in San Francisco into a homeless shelter, right? I mean, the guy really is shitting on his own investment, which is funny because to him, $2 billion is kind of like play money, right? When your net worth is over $300 billion, $2 billion ain't really all that much, right? And that's why he can just toy around with, talking bad about the company, even if it tanks the share price, right? Because it's nothing to him. It's kind of crazy how that works. But with that being said, right, we had some surprising news come out today, right, in which Elon Musk has actually turned down a seat on Twitter's board. And this is a big deal because this is leaving the door open for him to pursue a hostile takeover. So we're going to talk about what this means, okay, and what I think is going on here. But first, I just want to let you guys know, if you like my channel, you want to support my channel, you can do so using the links in the description below. You can support the Patreon, you support the PayPal, you support the merch. There are multiple ways to support the channel if you would like to do so. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this. In an announcement on late Sunday, U.S. time, Twitter CEO Parag Agrawal revealed that the Tesla CEO has turned down an invitation to join the company's board. News of Musk's decision comes almost a week after an earlier statement by Agrawal that Musk will be joining Twitter's board, which came a day after Musk revealed that he'd taken a 9.2% stake in Twitter, making him the social media platform's largest shareholder. According to Agrawal, the company was set to make Musk's board appointment official on Saturday, contingent on a background check and formal acceptance. Agrawal said that the company was clear about the risk of bringing the Tesla CEO on the board. Yet said Twitter believed that having Elon as a fiduciary of the company was the best path forward, aka having Elon's name on the board would be good for the company, right? Because Elon Musk has a massive following, okay? And his followers are kind of low-key like a cult, right? To a certain extent, okay? Because the guy is kind of a real-life Tony Stark, right? He's a real-life Iron Man. And as you saw with that meme coin, Doge, Elon Musk had a ton of influence over that coin going absolutely nuts, okay, in terms of his growth. I mean, he made people millionaires overnight just from his influence on that cryptocurrency, right? So the guy is very influential, right? And I think that the Twitter CEO and the board members probably saw, okay, well, this guy believes in free speech. That's kind of bad, but he has influence. And I'm going to tell you why in a minute, why him being on the board for them is a good thing, considering that this guy has enough money to basically take over the whole company if he wants. By turning down the appointment, Musk is now free to expand his stake in Twitter. If Musk had accepted the seat on Twitter's board, he would have been limited to a maximum stake of 14.9% in the company. Ding, 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 ding. Right? That is where the problem is. Okay, so that's why they was cool with it. They was like, okay, this guy Elon Musk, he's pro free speech, which we don't like, right? Obviously, they don't like that. And he has the ability to buy our company. Okay. Twitter's market cap is only 37 billion, right? Elon Musk's net worth is 300 billion. So that being said, would it be easy for Elon Musk to buy Twitter? Not necessarily, because doing a hostile takeover of a company is not necessarily an easy task. If you guys know anything about Carl Icahn, one of the legendary activist investors, he's tried to do a lot of hostile takeovers that have failed, okay, for multiple reasons. It's not an easy thing to do, but it's certainly possible, okay, for Elon Musk to do it. So with that being said, of course they was like, okay, with this guy buying so much in this company, right? He's now the largest shareholder. It's better to have him on the board so that way we can limit his influence over the company, right? Considering that how he literally could just buy the whole thing if he wanted to. It's better to just have him on the board, right? Have him a part of the inner circle so that we can control him, right? That's what they wanted. But apparently Elon Musk said no, right? He backed away from it, okay? And I think personally the reason why he backed away from it is because he saw that, okay, if I'm on the board, these guys ain't really necessarily going to listen to what I say. My influence becomes limited at that point. What's spending an extra, I don't know, 35, potentially 40, $50 billion to buy Twitter? Because now I think that the speculation of Elon Musk potentially buying all of Twitter in a hostile takeover is going to make the share price rise even more over time, because people are going to invest thinking that, well, Elon Musk is just going to buy them out at some point, right? And just like Trump, right, Elon Musk is an alpha male type of figure. He's uncontrollable and unpredictable. And I think any attempt to control Elon or to make him a predictable character, he's going to outright reject it, right? Because he doesn't want to be controlled and he wants ownership. He has an ownership mentality, right? He's like, if I can't own it, if I can't call the shots, then I don't want it, right? And real talk, people should take notes on this stuff, right? The people that run this world have a rulership mentality, okay? They want ownership. Okay, they don't want to just be an employee. They don't want to just be a contributor. They want to call the shots. They want to run things, okay? And that is Elon Musk. That is Trump. That is some of the most influential people in this world, okay? That's what they want. They want power and control. And in my opinion, the average person, right, if you want to be successful, you should strive for the same things, right? Mainly ownership. Without that limit, Musk could now, in theory, pursue a hostile takeover by buying the company outright. That's a move his extraordinary wealth comfortably enables him to do. Quote, Twitter is more valuable than some of its internet peers to outside pressure because its founders don't have special voting control. Justin Post, director of equity research at Bank of America Securities, wrote in a note published last week after Musk revealed his stake in the platform. So basically what this means is that there's some social media platforms like Facebook in which Mark Zuckerberg is basically a dictator, even though he owns like 12 or 13% of the company, right? Something like that. He can do whatever he wants because they have what we call in the finance industry, and I know about this because I worked in finance, dual class shares, right? Class A shares, which is what normal people like me and you buy, and Class B shares, which is what a small group of insiders can buy and own, right? In terms of ownership in the company. And those Class B shares actually get more voting power than the Class A shares, right? So that essentially allows people like Mark Zuckerberg that own Class B shares to influence the company even more. And Mark Zuckerberg owns so much that he can unilaterally make whatever decisions that he wants, right? He's like a god at Facebook, right? In regards to running the company and dictating how things go. Now, that's not how it is at Twitter, because Twitter doesn't necessarily have those shares, okay? So there's no special voting power that is given to the founder. So whoever owns the most shares in the company has the most say over the operations of the company. And that could be what Elon Musk is going for here in terms of maybe just outright buying a majority stake in the company. As of publication time, Elon Musk is still listed as a member of Twitter's board of directors. Since publicly revealing his investment in Twitter, Musk has tweeted several thoughts about the company's services, including a poll gouging interest in an edit button, and floated the idea that users might pay for Twitter's premium service using the cryptocurrency Dogecoin. On Saturday morning, that same day that ArgueWall suggests, Musk turned down the board seat. Musk tweeted, "Is Twitter dying?" and noted that several of the most followed Twitter accounts tweet rarely and post very little content. According to Bloomberg, Musk's disclosure of his stake in Twitter risks opening a new rift in the Tesla founder's already strained relationship with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission. Musk revealed his stake later than U.S. equity regulations require, and originally used a form meant for passive investors who have no plan to influence a company's operations. Musk later refiled his disclosure to classify himself as an active investor. Yeah. Elon Musk don't give a damn about the Securities and Exchange Commission, right? He don't give a damn about them, bro. He's like actively like going against them, right? He's just actively like, F you guys, F the government, F bureaucracy, F regulations, right? Elon Musk is the man. Low-key, he is the man. Some Twitter employees had feared Musk's board appointment would hurt the company's culture. One noted that some of Musk's tweets would likely trigger a human resource investigation if sent by a company employee, and asked whether board members are held to the same standard, according to the Washington Post. In his Sunday memo, ArgueWall asked employees to tune out the noise. Okay, so basically shut up and work, right? Shut up and work. Shut up and code. So yeah, I mean, what does all this mean? Well, we really don't know. Obviously, the implication here is that this opens the door for Elon Musk to just outright buy the company if that's what he wants to do. The only thing is that Elon Musk owns a ton of companies already. Okay, he's running a ton of other companies, right? So him taking on Twitter, even though I think he passionately believes in free speech, right? The fundamental rights and the spirit of free speech, that could be a little bit too much on his plate. Okay, the dude is trying to send us to Mars. He's trying to invent brain chips. He's trying to have space internet. Okay, he's trying to do Tesla. I think he got Solar City as well too. This dude is running a ton of companies. Okay, now he can always insert somebody into, you know, the company to run the company that he likes. Okay, he can always do that. But at the same time, again, it could be just a little bit too much for him. I don't know. But maybe his passion for free speech is more than enough for him to say, you know what, F it, I'm still going to do it anyways, right? This is a project that is worth pursuing. It also be one of these things that since Elon Musk is unpredictable, he could have had a rift with the board and just said, F it, I'm just going to not be on the board and probably at some later date sell all his shares, right? The shares are elevated right now. So if he decided to sell at a later date, assuming that they stay elevated because of him being, you know, a large shareholder in the company, potentially having some influence and maybe speculation of him buying it out, maybe he could just dump the shares at some point later on in the future and basically make a quick, you know, few $1 billion, right? That could also be it as well too. We really don't know at this point because the guy is truly unpredictable. But my gut feeling is what happened is that Elon Musk saw the writing on the wall and that these people, you know, offer him a seat on the board to try to control him and to try to limit his influence. He was like, nah. If I can't have the whole thing, if I can't run the whole thing, then, you know, hey, then I'm not going to be on the board, right? Which means that, again, he could either try to buy the whole thing or he may dump his shares at a later date. I don't know. But with that being said, if he does decide to try to pursue a hostile takeover, obviously that will be interesting. And if he's successful, then I think that will be good for Twitter in regards to truly becoming a free speech platform in which we'll, you know, be able to have President Trump back up there, other people that have been censored, banned, and that will be better for this country and the world, in my opinion, if he actually was to do that. But we simply don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.